Hi! December is like the climax of a great film, wrapping up the year's stories with moments that linger like the credits of a cinematic masterpiece. I'm Atika Farooqui and we're coming close to the close of the year. I hope that you had a great one. So did I. This is now showing. Let's begin this show with the highlights. You saw him sacrifice his life for his son Simba, but Disney now brings you Mufasa, the Lion King story. Does Disney's latest live-action extravaganza have the same appeal as the iconic cartoon film of 1994? We will tell you. Last week, you got a glimpse of the Actresses Roundtable. Now brace yourself for further insightful and engaging conversations with the quintet: Konkona Sharma, Aditi Rao Hydari, Rasika Dugal, Pratibha Ranta and Nitanshi Goel. Fazal and Richa Chadha are pushing buttons as producers with their maiden venture, Girls Will Be Girls, a tete-a-tete with the actors and the producers. And lyricist Irshad, Kamil, music composer Sampath, Tanishq Bagchi and singer Shilpa Rao talk all things music on CNN News 18's Music Stars Roundtable. And let's begin now showing with our Mufasa. Barry Jenkins, the Oscar-winning director behind Moonlight and the Underground Railroad, takes the reins of Disney's story, the Lion King franchise, with Mufasa, the Lion King. This prequel explores the origins of the titular lion who would become the wise and noble father figure in the 1994 classic. Jenkins brings his signature depth and sensitivity to a story that celebrates resilience, humility and the unyielding bonds of community. The film begins in the present day with Simba introducing his daughter Kiara to the Pride Lands. Rafiki, Timon and Pumbaa recount Mufasa's remarkable journey from a vulnerable orphan to a revered king. While Rafiki's narration offers gravitas, Timon and Pumbaa provide their signature humor, balancing the film's emotional weight with light-hearted interludes. Through the series of flashbacks, we learn of Mufasa's tragic beginnings. A devastating flood claims his parents, leaving him to fend for himself in the wild. He eventually finds refuge with a new pride led by King Obasi, played by Lenny James, and his son Taka, played by Kelvin Harrison Jr. This relationship becomes the emotional core of the film as Taka's jealousy and insecurities sow the seeds of his transformation into Scar. Jenkins and screenwriter Jeff Nathanson weave a layered narrative that not only deepens the mythology of the Pride Lands, but also provides an intimate exploration of Mufasa's growth. The themes of self-discovery and leadership are poignantly underscored, with Mufasa's journey framed as a lesson in humility and the power of unity. Visually, Mufasa the Lion King is a feast for the eyes. Jenkins opts for a stylized approach, retaining the photorealism of Jon Favreau's 2019 remake while infusing the animation with greater emotional expressivity. The landscapes are breathtaking, from sweeping savannas to the intimate glow of moonlight gatherings, each scene rendered with meticulous detail. However, the pacing falters in the latter half, with an overstuffed script that prioritizes setting up future installments over delivering a cohesive story. The rushed evolution of Taka into Scar feels anticlimactic, and the film's attempts at deeper messaging are undermined by its adherence to the franchise's pro-monarchy framework. Braylon Rankins and Aaron Pierre voice the younger versions of Mufasa, delivering performances brimming with vulnerability and quiet determination. Lenny James brings gravitas to King Obasi, while Kelvin Harrison Jr. shines as Taka, capturing the complexities of a character torn between brotherly love and a deep sense of inadequacy. Tiffany Boone's portrayal of Sarabi offers glimpses of the strong and compassionate queen she will become in future. Meanwhile, Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen reprise their roles as Timon and Pumbaa, providing comic relief that, while occasionally intrusive, keeps the tone accessible to the younger audiences. The film's soundtrack is a blend of nostalgia and innovation. Hans Zimmer returns with a sweeping score enriched by Lebo M's Zulu-inspired rhythms that root the film in its African setting. Lin-Manuel Miranda's lyrical contributions bring a modern flair, though they sometimes feel at odds with the film's timeless narrative. At its heart, Mufasa the Lion King is a meditation on legacy and leadership, Unlike Simba's youthful quest for identity, Mufasa's journey is marked by an innate humility and a willingness to serve. Jenkins masterfully contrasts Mufasa's rise with Taka's fall, creating a poignant commentary on the choices that define us. Mufasa the Lion King is a triumphant addition to Disney's beloved franchise. Blending epic storytelling with intimate character moments, Barry Jenkins elevates the material with his thoughtful direction, turning what could have been a simple origin story into a richly layered exploration of family, identity, and the burdens of leadership. While the film occasionally struggles with pacing and the limitations of its hyper-realistic animation, its emotional resonance and visual splendor make it an unforgettable cinematic experience. I strongly recommend you go for it with family, all the kids in the family. Last week, we gave you a highlight from the CNN Actresses Roundtable, where Konkona Sharma, Aditi Rao Hydari, Rasika Dugal, Pratibha Ranta and Nitanshi Goel from Lapata Ladies discussed pressing issues facing actresses and the film industry. Brace yourselves for more engaging and insightful conversation as we bring to you another highlight from the marathon chat, which you can watch on CNN News 18 on Saturday at 10:30 in the night and on Sunday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Whenever there's this one film that works very well at the commercial box office, which portrays women in a very bad light, does that
Sorry, I mean, we all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, does that make your journey as an actress a little difficult as what it was in the last 5 to 10 years? You know, this one film comes in, just turns everything upside down, all the female movement and, you know, in favor of women and their narrative, and it just chews everything. And then you have to start all over again. I won't take names. But as actresses, how do you feel about that?
I honestly think there's too much responsibility and too much darja given to
one film?
Any one film or any one maker. I mean, again, I'll quickly finish what I want to say. Basically, I think everybody has the right to make what they want to make, and it's their prerogative. There is a larger responsibility, of course, but we can't expect everybody to recognize that responsibility. So the responsibility lies within us. Each one of us as individuals, as actors, as directors, as producers, as everybody. That's the only, as anybody who's in this medium, and not just us. A lot again is put on the film industry. What about the other people? Okay. Each human being in their homes, the responsibility comes from there. And then the decision to watch, not watch, how much you're going to push, not push, all of that also counts for it. It can't only be one filmmaker, one actor, no, it doesn't. I don't think it works like that. But that is my understanding.
I agree. You know, what about all the audiences going and choosing a psychopath again and again to glorify?
Yeah.
You know, what about all the audience members as well?
But isn't it true, one hit film does wonders for the career of the actors of the film? Isn't it? What do you think, no?
What, one film?
A hit film. Particularly if it is in the beginning of your career. What's your take on that?
No, I think you also have to have that support system around you.
What is a support system?
You need to have a structure, like a manager, an agency, a stylist, all that counts. And especially especially here in the Hindi film industry, that support structure is very, very important.
Bibbo Jan, the character of Bibbo Jan and Aditi as an actress is being recognized in some remote country of the world in the western part of the globe. We have Lapata Ladies, and just there is this beautiful global recognition of India and Indians and Indian films and lots of other things. With Priyanka Chopra, they're already there on the map, and so many other actresses and actors who've done a very good job. Ali Fazal has been doing some very interesting projects.
What about Payal Kapadia and
Payal
Anushka
Kapadia.
Sengupta and Kanika Shruti and Girls Will Be Girls, Richa Chadha's.
Yes.
I don't know if I missed out a name, but it's been fantastic actually.
Elephant.
The Elephant Whisperers.
Elephant Whisperers,
I was in London and there were these two girls and they were from Somalia. And I was in my regular clothes, I did look nothing like Bibbo Jan. But maybe because there's so much consumption, you know, online, and they're able to recognize you in whatever mode of, you know, being you are at that point. And they were like, Bippo Jan, and they came up to me, and you know, you find people like, okay, you know, certain countries really consume content from India, and you know, French people or Germans or you know, people from Morocco or whatever. But certain people, when they sort of come up to you and you're like, wow, you watched it, it traveled to your country, and they all like big fans, and it's very thrilling.
You know, I have to say that you know, the people who like my work seem to be very sophisticated and mature, because they are themselves are quite
intellectual.
I mean, no, I don't know intellectual, but you know, it's not
discerning.
Discerning perhaps, and I have not had that level of fame that it's really become a day-to-day problem at all.
I like the fact that how our film, you know, people are able to connect to the film. You know, it's पहले जब लापता लेडीज रिलीज हुई थी मुझे लगा था कि पता नहीं लोगों को रिलेट करेंगे भी कि नहीं करेंगे, बट देन इन इंडिया यू नो इट so much of love was coming in, and now internationally also so much of love is coming. Recently I was outside of India, and you know, I just noticed that people there also were coming to me and telling me, we've like Indian people, like, oh, you know, we've seen you in Lapata. And you know, one good thing that I've realized about Lapata, like when people come to me, they come to me and they say that, oh, you know, we loved you in Lapata, the kind of role you played, please continue doing that. And when someone says that, no, then I sit with myself and I feel that, oh, this is so much of responsibility also that comes along, that, you know, people do expect a certain kind of work from you, which is of course very nice, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I also feel that, you know, in return, it's, you know, it's also our responsibility to give something valuable in return.
I used to sit in my car and my daddy is driving, and we've stopped to eat momos, and someone दूर से is recognizing कि लापता ladies की लड़की बैठी है. I'm like, इतना अंधेरा है, कुछ दिख भी नहीं रहा है, and this person is recognizing me, and then they come to me कि आप हमारी फूल हो, हमारी मेरी मम्मा, मेरे पापा सब आपको इतना प्यार करते हैं. This is so sweet. Recently I went to Goa, Faroorui, Goa. I was coming back and I was running really late for my flight. वहाँ के जो तो पुलिस ऑफिसर थे वो कहते हैं ये तो फूल है, और मैं भाग रही हूँ ऐसे अपने लगेज को लेके. मम्मा इज लाइक, यार ये फूल है, इसको ना, इसकी इंडिगो फ्लाइट है इसकी, उसको लोग नहीं दिख रहे. अरे हम करवाते हैं, हमारी फूल कैसे खो जाएगी. फिर से दे बोले कि गोवा में ना रह जाए, they made sure I was in the flight. Everybody in the airport was like, फूल has to reach home. It was that sweet.
The movie has taught us.
The movie has taught us.
They were in Lapata ladies.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with money? Do you think women now are negotiating better than before? And do you think pay parity is something that we can now finally see happening? Let's talk money.
I'm just really grateful I have a manager and I don't have to talk money.
I have had the same manager since the time of Wake Up Sid Urvashi Zala, who has been with me across companies.
Yeah?
So I'm indebted to my manager.
Wow. What is it that they bring to the table that you can't? Like, how do they complete
I
it?
think just, okay, one is that for me, I need to be able to work with people I completely trust. Like, that's very important to me. I need them to have great energy, and I need them to be like, I tend to be a bit of a dreamer. So I need to know that they're on it. And when I'm dreaming, they kind of
वो कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, so basically, and they, I mean, for me, my team is really my family away from home. And they also school me. If I'm doing something stupid, I don't want my team to walk around eggshells, you know, around me. I want them to be able to school me, be honest with me, tell me whatever it is that's an issue, and I will correct it. I'm happy to correct it, and I want to correct it. I don't like to have any ego in the equation. I like to keep that rootedness while I'm flying somewhere in some dreamland on a unicorn.
But financial freedom is such an important thing that we should get everybody's opinion on, and I want to say
Yes.
that for all women everywhere, whether you have found your soulmate and the love of your life or whatever it is, you must have financial freedom regardless, because, you know, people die.
Yeah.
You said this.
What
death
is
hurts so much.
Sorry, I'm obsessed with death. I love.
And our first film was called Death in the Gun.
Oh yeah, Coco. I'm very obsessed with
You're
death. It makes
obsessed
me
with
cherish life.
That's such a nice way to look at it. When you say
It
the
gives
word
me
death,
perspective.
it gives you a perspective about life. Like, how do you invest your money?
Favorite
What kind of an investor are you?
I, of course, in myself, I guess. But you mean financially?
Yeah, where do you invest your money? Just financial advice for all women.
In the stock market.
Really?
Yeah. I have a few financial advisors and we just put it all in the market.
Oh, wonderful. Aditi, you?
Okay, see, numbers and I are not friends. Like I said, I have human beings who sort of take care of these things. So yes, there is a setup and it is all handled. But it's not like I don't look into it. I don't like adulting, but I have to do it sometimes, and I do it. Let's just say it happens.
I have somebody very trustworthy who takes care of it, who happens to be my husband. So it's a very stereotypical sort of situation, and I don't like the stereotypicalness of it. So sometimes I tell him, I'm not going to let you invest my money because this is too done. You know,
don't like the narrative.
Yeah, this narrative is boring, and I cannot be subscribing to this narrative. So, but I have to admit that his skills in that line are far more superior than mine.
And as Konkona Sen Sharma said in the beginning of the conversation, it was a beautiful mix of the cuties and the beauties. Don't forget to catch this conversation on the weekend. Now, Pushing Buttons is the name of their studio, and first-time producers Ali Fazal and Richa Chadha are determined to tell unique, path-breaking stories. Girls will be girls. Their maiden production is a refreshing coming-of-age story filled with complex relationship drama. We spoke to the producers and the talented cast, including debutante actors Preeti Panigrahi and Kesav Binoy Kiran, and seasoned pro Khani Kusruti, who's been making waves across the world and making us all proud.
She was schooled in the US, so she doesn't understand. She's like, if the script is written, why can't people read it? We had discussed this long time ago when she and I were still students, and then she thought about it for a while, and then it got polished and refined over time. So yeah, my first feeling was, wow, what a unbelievably honest and intimate story. Which needs to be told, which most people will enjoy.
We have an idea of cinema in mind, an idea that a cinema that we want to be able to create for the coming generations. Storytelling is a very, very, very one of the most strongest forms of its kind in the world. To the extent, if I may say, it has shaped societies in many ways. So. Yeah, I think we do feel a little responsible. I want to be part of that wagon. I know we're not the only ones. It's the first one for us, but we would definitely want to be like part of that gang.
The writer and director, what they have written, I'm not going to speak my mind and I'm not going to improvise the way I just wanted to improvise. I speak the dialogue that's written, and if there is no dialogue, I won't say a dialogue.
I don't necessarily think they are bold because they're very human experiences, and I think they'll be bold if they are sensational and if they're for a wrong cause. I felt like in the film they were for the very right cause. I was slightly closer to the age of the character, and she's coming of age and I was also coming of age around that time, so a lot of experiences resonated, and I would say a lot of experiences happened first on the set and then in my life. And I'm so glad that the story is so empathetic towards women, and that empathy also kind of broadens for everyone in general. All the characters you see in the film are forgiven by the filmmaker, so I feel like I really enjoy that, and in the future course of films, I hope we see characters like that without putting them in labels, but rather than seeing them in a spectrum.
I wanted to be a politician, I wanted to be an army officer, and then I realized might as well become an actor so that there's chances of...
You can become all of this.
Yeah, chances of doing multiple professions is there. And then I did theatre. It started off with that validation of the audience. Then somewhere along the line, it became more personal. And that's the time when my friend sent the casting call in a WhatsApp group, and then 8 months later I got logged in.
I was quite involved in it early on. and I knew this story was, I wouldn't say it was her personal life, but I knew that it was coming from a personal and intimate space about growing up and coming of age. So I knew that she would make a beautiful film. We made our college submission films together, and she's got a very special voice.
A lot of my, some of my co-actors from the other side of the world really liked it.
Don't go too far as we have a great musical conversation lined up for you. This is going to be beautiful and lyrical. Don't go away, please. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Up next, we have an excerpt from CNN News 18's Music Stars Roundtable featuring lyricist Irshad Kamil, music composers Sampath and Tanishq Bagchi, and singer Shilpa Rao. They discuss their most creatively rewarding moments of 2024 and delve into why Hindi cinema lacks children's songs. Hai na, bolo bolo. One of them is so beautiful, and I totally agree with Shilpa here. Among this and so much more is this conversation coming to you. Enjoy.
होने लगा है जो है इश्क या है वो इश्क जैसा कुछ मेरा जो तू हुआ तो ही शुरू हुआ इसके जैसा कुछ होने लगा है जो है इश्क या है वो इश्क जैसा कुछ.
Let's talk about the poetry of Bollywood music. You know, you use a word called "Hu Mat Mela Main." You use a word called "O Sajni." You know, these words like Sajna, Balam, Pia mostly belong to the music of 90s. Do you look for these unusual words?
मैं ना frankly believe ही नहीं करता वर्ड्स में. वर्ड्स पोइट्री नहीं होते, थॉट पोइट्री होता है. मैंने ये शहजादे वर्ड इस्तेमाल करना है, आतिश फिशां करना है, तवक्को करना है, तवज्जो करना है, आई डोंट केयर. इस आदमी के साथ रह के मुझे अच्छा लगा था. अब आपको वो सारी बातें थोड़े याद है क्या क्या की थी. सो आई बिलीव फील इज द पोएट्री, वर्ड्स आर मेयर टूल्स.
कैरेक्टर कौन है, कौन गाना गा रहा है, कि वो जो है, जो दो लाइंस हैं वो राइटर ने लिखे थे, दिव्य निधि ने लिखे थे, पेज के ऊपर लिख दिया था ये दो लाइन, मन करता है शाउटवा ई कन्या पे डाउटवा. There's so much flavor in it, there's so much fun in it.
छोटे शहरों में भी ये तो इंग्लिश तो है ही. I think every song is also a reflection of the society and the way we talk.
How many songs in a year you compose, you write, you sing?
ओह, मुझे नहीं पता यार. मैं ऐसे तो आपको लगता है जो मैं एक गाना लिखता हूँ क्या एक ही बार लिखता हूँ? अब अगर उसको वो सारी लिखने को भी गिना जाए,
सारे
ड्राफ्ट्स को भी गिना जाए, तो मैं कितने गाने लिखता हूँ. मैं तो मतलब जितने रिलीज होते हैं ऑलमोस्ट उनके बराबर ही गाने लिख देता हूँ.
वो ना ख्याल वाली बात आ जाती है. कोई भी राग को आप एक्सप्रेस करें ना, तो ख्याल फॉर्म में आपकी जो अपनी थॉट्स हैं उस राग को लेके उसको आप एक्सप्रेस करते हैं. बट उसमें एक पॉइंट आता है, उसको बोलते हैं बंदिश. दिस इज़ योर बंदिश which is constant, and then there's one thread and you have to keep going round. You can do a perfect circle, you can do this, you can do anything. Sometimes underplaying my strength will make the song sound better. तो गाना गाने के बाद हम उसमें से हम निकाल देते हैं कि अच्छा ये हरकत निकाल दो, ये निकाल दो, वो निकाल दो. Like for बेशरम रंग, there's only one हरकत which I did at the very end.
What was that?
नशा चढ़ा, ये ज़रूरत नहीं था, बट वो एक जगह पे बिकॉज द सॉन्ग इज गोइंग इन क्रेशेंडो, वहाँ पर वो अच्छा लग गया.
ऑनेस्टली बताऊँ, मैं बहुत गाने बनाता हूँ, बट 50 गाने में ना जब मैं बाद में सुनता हूँ तब मुझे खुद ही पसंद नहीं आता है. कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है जब डायरेक्टर ने मुझे एक थॉट दिया और तभी हम लोग ने कंपोज कर लिया, तभी के तभी, और वो अप्रूव भी हो गया.
I was during my research, I came across this. You know, do you all miss children's song in films?
Yes,
I miss children's films.
I do. I think the whole perspective of a child. I
Basically,
really miss
more
that.
than anything else, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सिर्फ ऐसा ही नहीं है कि हम चिल्ड्रन सॉन्ग ही मिस करते हैं। पहले हम टिपिकल कैरेक्टर्स के लिए गाने बनाते थे, अब हम सिर्फ हीरोज के लिए गाने बनाते हैं। खाली डिब्बा खाली बोतल ले ले मेरे यार, आपको पता है कि ये किस टाइप का कैरेक्टर होगा? आओ हमारे होटल में चाय पियो गर्मा गर्म, आपको पता है ये बंदा कौन होगा जो ये। अभी वो कैरेक्टर्स के गाने हमारे पास नहीं है। तो बच्चे एक्चुअली हमारी पिक्चर का हिस्सा होते ही नहीं है।
As a composer, you'd barely get to flex your muscles because you're making 25 different love songs for the same relationship. माशूक, आशिकी, वही बन रहा है। But like for example, तुझसे नाराज नहीं जिंदगी, parent to child, brother sister, त्योहार।
एक गाना था, I don't know, it's not children's song, but my mom used to sing this to me when we were growing up. खुशी खुशी कर दो विदा, तुम्हारी बेटी राज करेगी।
What is Bollywood without music? And we all had loved Shilpa Rao's song, Khuda jaane kyun main fida hoon, isn't it? Well, it's the soul of a storytelling, the music, weaving emotions into unforgettable melodies and turning every film into a celebration of sound and spirit. Keep listening to good music and keep tuning into this show, now showing. I'm Atika Farooqui, unfortunately saying goodbye, but please do catch our roundtables with the actresses and the music stars on the weekends, across the weekends, all the time on CNN News 18. Till we meet again, see you.